So it's 6 o'clock, Thursday, March 20th. I'm going to call the regular select board meeting to order. First item, set adjust agenda. Does anybody have anything to change?
I need to add an item to approve a letter of support to Center of Agricultural Economy for their application to a T-Mobile hometown grant for $50,000 for solar array on the roof of the food hub at the Yellow Barn complex. And I also need to add an executive session to discuss contracts, BSA 313.
Okay, anybody else?
Motion to approve those changes?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the agenda as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's everyone, right? Any nays? Okay, motion passes. We have a new agenda to roll with. So next up, communication from the audience. Paul Fixer, you're standing as communication from the audience?
Signing in.
You're signing in. You're here for something else. Good. Next. Anyone?
Capacity?
You're not communicating from the audience.
You're here
That's
as an
Mike's.
official capacity? What's he doing here?
He is going to talk about. He doesn't have any communication.
Okay,
That's
all right, we're gonna roll, next select board to approve the minutes from last time, which was March the 6th.
Motion to approve the March 6th minutes?
Second.
Any discussion about the minutes? All in favor of approving the minutes as written, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is, I understand that some folks on the road crew are
Tom-
under the weather?
Tom is under the weather, yes, but I do have a report. from
Oh,
him.
okay.
He reported that the mud season so far has been quite mild. There was one section on Stratton Road that broke up somewhere between 300 and 400 feet in distance, but the crews were able to fix that fairly quickly. The crews hauled other material and fixed other areas that started to break up, but nothing too major. All in all, the roads are pretty good shape. The crews are waiting for some potholes to dry up a little bit before they start working on those roads. And the back roads all have been posted and have been for the last couple of weeks, and those signs will come down as soon as road conditions improve. There's been about half a dozen culverts and 3 catch basins that they've had to thaw out. And the banners have been switched out, and we are hauling winter sand back up to the shop to get ahead.
Sounds good. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you do a good job.
That was efficient.
Have you do it every week.
And do you have anything from Mike Henry?
No.
Okay.
He was supposed to be here. I talked
And
to him a little while ago, so it
he-
must be he
Driving down.
got caught up.
So
He
maybe.
might
A lot of
have-
times he's working too when he's
got one
here,
of those
so.
jobs.
Yep. And, all right, so next up, the Hardwick Electric Department, we have Sarah, sorry, is it Brace or
Brace. Yep.
Brace? Okay.
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm glad I finally got to make it to a meeting after joining in January. I'm not sure how much you got of the reports that I submitted for the commission meeting on Tuesday, but we're trying to really report out on a lot of the metrics that we report on by regulatory compliance more regularly and by quarter or by month. And so we've included various power operations and energy resources. Outages are actually improving quite a bit. I know when we filed our annual outage report, the metrics that we have to abide by were severe improvement over last year, and we attribute that a lot to the tree trimming and right-of-way clearances that are occurring. It's a high-ticket item, but at the same time, it's very much worth it when it comes to outages and resilience. There's a note about maintenance testing, and there will be more to come there. Just a little bit about power supply and our service quality. There are a few, just housekeeping things and project planning that we are looking forward. Well, I say that tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but we have our integrated resource plan that is due May 1st. So we'll be working with the commission and also Vermont Public Power Supply Authority to get all of those data points ready and submitted and in narrative form for an annual or 3-year cycle of the integrated resource plan. So that's coming up, and our budget passed on Tuesday, so hooray, that's good.
Yeah.
And we are looking at various internal resource staff gaps and trying to figure out how best to fill that and look at the skill sets within the department, and also succession planning for folks who we anticipate will be retiring in the next 2 to 5 years. So hoping to look at that and have some proposals for org chart changes and kind of just getting more robust staff on in the house.
Great.
Any questions?
Good job.
So we have,
So one thing I noticed today, a couple of things, I seen them, they were down on Lower Cherry, Jesus, a whole fleet of them. All kinds of young men calling all over orange and yellow things, and it's like, that's a good sign. I see a bunch of young guys on those trucks. That's not what we see, like, for example, in our highway department. We get a bunch of old guys.
but they do a good job.
And they're not planning any succession plan, they should be, so, yeah, it was good to see today. Wasn't long ago, we saw one truck with one lineman,
Yep.
and that was what we had. And, so it was pretty impressive today down there, they get stuff done, so that's good. Good job.
Yeah, I just want to say, Sarah, I really appreciate seeing the report. There was a lot of detail in there, and that was lovely.
Was that in our packet?
So it's in the
Online.
online folder, and it's long enough that it wasn't printed out, right?
That's fine,
Yes.
as long as it's gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I see it
and that's
today.
something that I really appreciate, because we asked for that. I've been seeing it because I've been coming to the electric meetings when I can, but to have it in our select board materials is super helpful for everyone to be able to see it easily. So I really appreciate you distributing that to us.
Absolutely. Took a lot longer to compile all of that information the first time around, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping it gets better faster going forward.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot every time.
Yeah, well, it's very complex, that's,
Yeah.
I just served showed staff on the commission. And, there's a lot to that. A lot of the shell game, a lot of legal facts.
Sarah, just a question, so typically we have the commissioners rotate and coming to report to us. Do you expect that to continue?
I anticipate so, and it's mostly just schedule-wise. I mean, it's supposed to come in January, and then it was sick, or the kids were sick, one or the other. But I anticipate we'll try to share that so that you guys get to see and talk with them, unless there's a request not to, in which case I might just have a couple of kids sitting quietly in the back.
No, I think it's great.
That's okay,
I mean,
too.
even staff, I think it's nice to hear from different people, personally.
Paul, do you have a question?
Comment. Are you planning to stay the whole meeting, or I'm guessing you're going to leave?
I am going to probably head out.
So let me say now, instead of at the time I'm reporting, I heard today that NEK Broadband is working with Hardwick Electric to put fiber in there from NEK Broadband momentarily.
Yes, we are looking to upgrade our
Oh,
service.
in the office.
In the office,
Oh, I
yes.
see.
The service we currently have is inadequate to move to a VoIP phone system, which allows a lot of flexibility for the staff and also for lines for all of the crew members as well. So the goal is to get that installed, and in order to do so, we needed much better bandwidth.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions for Sarah? Thank you very much for coming,
Thank you.
providing all the information.
Well, the door's locked, you can't leave. That's the only way we get people to stay, is lock the door. We get bait them with cookies and lock the door.
Yeah, and if you ever come and need to bring children, you wouldn't be the first.
Maybe, yes, that's right.
I imagine the cycle will start to change, and I'll have to bring them to the commission meetings at some point.
Yeah. All right, cycle back to Mike Henry. Do you have anything to report to us?
No, just have one person in the part-time academy right now, Joe Donna. So this is second week, and then Kamaga's getting back for another week, and I think it's another 60 hours he's gonna do, and then we'll do some field training. He's gonna, the goal is to keep him as part-time. We still have the full-time opening. I think the other thing is just Carr trying to get things lined up with getting the car, trying to get the equipment. It might take a little longer than I think for the equipment, come in,
Hmm.
so, don't really have an estimate on that yet, but, working on that.
Can you, any update on the radio repeater thing? Is that scheduled?
Everything's been ordered.
Okay.
It's gonna take months to get in, but what I've worked out with them is if they can get the, at least West Hill, that repeater switched out,
Mhm.
and we get a new repeater, he thinks that's probably part of the problem, and that might help, because the intermittent problem that we have with it. And then the goal is to get that one done, and maybe get fiber hooked up to that. So, and another one. We'll see, but again, we're waiting on equipment.
Mhm. Right.
Equipment's taking a while to come in, I don't know why, to hang up with me right now.
And the NEK broadband was scheduled to run up West Hill, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where it goes or where it is, but.
Replaced yet?
I mean, I think they did get up to there, but I don't know if they serviced that.
But you can't hook into it yet, right?
I don't think so. I'm not going to, but.
Oh, you're not, okay.
I could speak to that if anybody wants to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the official delivery date at that location is now fourth quarter this year. We've put, Opie and I have, I guess I, through our director, have put it in the hands of our construction manager. In order for this to work, our OLT, which is the cabinet that sends light everywhere, has had a problem with frozen conduit in Craftsbury where that gets hooked up. But we think the conduit's thawed, and within the week that ought to get hooked up. I'm hopeful based on what I had heard, and I've sort of stepped out of it and left it in the hands of your repeater people and who Opie forwarded to work with our construction manager. But I believe once that's done and the splicing's complete, which ought to be within a week or two, this could be done. So if you guys run into trouble, let me know and I'll escalate.
Okay, you're saying fourth quarter, things to be completed?
That's when customers on West Hill will start getting hooked up. I'll
Okay.
talk
But you
more.
may get priority, is what
Everybody
he's
get
saying.
priority?
The repeater is a very high priority
Yeah.
for us, and so, yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Questions for Mike? Thank you. Next up, item 1, select board to consider approving several liquor license renewals. Tanya.
So you got 4 renewals, none of them are new ones, are all renewals. Fork and Fork, Kaja, Takiera, American Legion, and Jiffy Mart. Some are different liquors, tobacco and tobacco endorsement. You got the list.
Yeah.
I move that we approve the liquor licenses and tobacco licenses
Second?
as listed.
All right, so I'm just gonna, that's great, we got a motion, I'm just gonna read them out for the record here, so it's, we've got quite a list. So first class license for Cork and Fork LLC, Poly LLC doing business as Taqueria, Hardwick Post Number 7 American Legion Incorporated. Second class licenses for Global Montel Group Corp doing business as Jiffy Mart. Third class license for Cork and Fork LLC and Hardwick Post Number 7 American Legion. Outside consumption permit for the American Legion. Tobacco license for Jiffy Mart. Tobacco substitute endorsement for Jiffy Mart. There we go. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Tanya. Next, item 2, select board to authorize the purchase of a new wastewater meter reading equipment up to $15,000. Maybe Amanda has information, but I talked to Opie about it briefly today. Yeah, and he was saying that basically our equipment that we currently use is, I guess, at the end of its useful life, and they're stopping support, right? Is that right?
Yes. So the current meter reading equipment is 10 years old and it's becoming obsolete, and soon the software won't be supported anymore.
And so this is, the purchase would come out of the water capital,
I don't
or
know.
I but, well, okay, but it needs to come out of water, not the, yeah, yeah. So we should
So
have the
there's,
money in.
I included the tie sales, quote in your packet for the new equipment.
Yeah.
For 14, so that's a quote for 14.2, so what I guess Opie's asked is for a motion to approve it not to exceed 15,000.
And do we need to specify those coming out of the water fund,
No,
or it just?
It's just where it comes from, so this type of purchase, just because it's exclusively for water, it gets paid for the water budget and which comes from the water rates.
I can motion to approve the purchase of a new water meter not to exceed $15,000.
Or water meter reading equipment.
Water meeting.
Water meter reader. A new meter. Sorry, I did, I'm sorry. Whatever, the thing.
Second.
There we go. Okay, discussion on that? I mean, it sounds like
I'm voting no.
you're gonna vote no, okay, why?
You have to ask.
Well, I don't
We still got 80 meters that we haven't put in 10 years. And
Very
I'm
good
one of
point.
the guys that's been paying a bigger bill than he should
Right.
be paying for 10 years.
Yes, and very
We're
likely,
not spending no more money until we put some meters.
very likely most or all of the people in that situation are paying a bigger bill than they need to be
And
paying.
most likely the lower income.
Most likely, and that needs to get fixed.
No,
We would say-
And has been needing to be fixed for apparently 10 years, because this equipment's now 10 years old.
I'm kind of with Danny on this one.
Yeah.
That we should
I mean,
prioritize that.
I'll vote no, so that
Record your
records
dissent.
it, but I think we gotta do it, I mean, but we gotta get on the other.
Well, because you can't not be able to read the meters.
Right.
Right, I don't want to,
But-
I just want to make sure that the guys understand it. I've
We
been
need to
paying
get on
more
that.
than I should,
And
as much as maybe double for 10 years.
I thought we talked about a plan for doing that this summer.
We talked about it for 10 years.
I know we have, but I thought we talked about a real plan for getting it done this summer.
We have for 10 years.
I know,
So-
okay.
But now a real plan.
Yeah, well, we
That
have.
needs to
and
be
I'm
on
not
the
Next
next
gonna-
agenda. Can you make a note in our minutes that the select board wants to have that on the next agenda?
Yes.
The
Thank
plan,
you.
the plan for
Figure out the
installing the
timeline.
remaining meter pits?
Okay,
Okay, so-
My bill's gonna be way more when we get
Nah.
It's the way it rolls. Let's get to
Okay,
it.
so, good, so, any other discussion? All in favor of approving the, purchase of a new water meter reading equipment up to 15,000, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay, but yes.
So motion carries, and duly noted that the meter pits need to be installed this summer, really, like why we, yeah.
We just got a whole contract.
Before we have to get a
Exactly.
different reading system for those.
Hmm?
Yeah, before we have to get yet a different.
Right, exactly, before this reading system.
Really, it's just not that easy.
Or we just make
Totally.
them not as expensive.
And even the masses,
Yeah, but it's still, no, they just need to get, yeah.
we just gotta get on the contract, which,
Yeah, it's
it's
just.
not that we haven't been busy the last couple of years, but
Yes.
it's gotta happen.
They can, yes. Next, item 3 is update on downtown transportation grant award date for the pedestrian bridge, and select board to discuss alternate funding if we don't receive the grant. So my understanding is that we applied for 200,000 from Transportation Alternatives Program through V-Trans and,
Do you want me to speak to it?
sure, go ahead.
So yes, this is kind of a strange transportation grant because it actually is managed by the Agency of Commerce and Community Development because it's tied to the downtown program, and they manage the downtown
We're
program.
only eligible for it because we are designated
Because we have a
downtown.
designated downtown. So the little tricky bit about this is that we did already get a grant from, another $200,000 from this program for the bridge project. But they told us that we were eligible to come back. Eligibility, however, does not mean what your chances are. And I have no idea, this would mean we would have two grants from them. So I think it really depends on what kind of a year it is as far as other applications. And I feel like there's a lot of support for this project in that agency. They know what we were up against. They really want it to happen, so, but they, we'll
I'm
see.
sure there's
We'll see.
a lot of people are trying to get that money as well.
Probably
Yes.
so. So, but we won't know, the thing is, we won't know until the end of April. April 28th, I think, is when they make their decision. So,
We need to update our calendar.
so what I think we were hoping we could accomplish tonight, Amanda, correct me if I don't have this wrong, but is that we could get the board to basically say that regardless of whether we get this grant or not, we are going forward with this project and we will find the money in the fund balance or someplace. Because in order to start work, which we have to start soon, we need to get a notice to proceed from USDA, and they will not give that to us until we can confirm that we have the money. So we cannot wait till April 28th. And even in April 28th, we may not have it. So we need to get going. So we're hoping that the board would,
So this is the bridge,
the pedestrian bridge,
Pedestrian bridge.
yeah.
so it's nothing to do with the wall.
No, it's
So this
just,
contract hasn't gone out to bid yet or anything?
It has.
Yes, it
yes, we
has.
have,
We
yeah.
have it.
We
And
have a contractor.
we have a,
Contractor, yeah, it's gone out to bid twice.
CCS.
Oh, so they're gonna do both of them?
Mhm.
Okay.
And the idea is that because both of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
involve the river permit being in the river, it's
Yeah.
all gonna happen in one
All
go.
that-
It's
That's
two
what I
different,
thought. I
All
was-
the
I was
coordination
making sure.
of,
but it's two different projects because FEMA's paying for
Two
the
different-
wall.
So this 775 is accurate to that bid?
Yeah.
This
Well,
one?
at the last meeting, I said that we need to do this, so
Yeah.
So that's what their bid was.
My question is, have you talked to anyone who at ACCD who's involved in administering this grant to just float to them, look, if the town says we'll find the money in our fund balance if we don't get the grant, does that in any way make them less likely to give us the grant?
no,
No.
I mean, they know that most municipalities, can rob Peter to pay, we
Mhm.
can take the money from something else, but,
Mhm.
we don't want to do that and they wouldn't, no,
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
no,
All right.
we're also not the only town that has applied for this same grant for the same project in
Yeah.
two different rounds.
No, they're
It's
not,
it's not the
I mean,
first
if
time
we
it's
say one
happened.
way or another, we're gonna make this happen, it's not
Yeah.
gonna, that wouldn't affect theirs.
So,
What's our,
No.
what's our David?
I was gonna say, and, I mean, so that's, the total cost of those two projects with the contingencies in there is, they're well over $20,000, so realistically,
Well, it's my question, what the contingencies was the actual, because we're on the hook for the contingency too, right?
Mhm.
well, this is included in it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is, it's, worst case scenario, we could actually not be on the hook for the whole 200 grand if things went really, really well.
True.
So
Yeah.
I believe, I'm sorry I wasn't at the last meeting and I didn't listen to the recording, but I think it was presented last time that we do have, at the previous meeting, there was the impression that even with this grant, we were gonna be short.
And that's
So
not
that's
the
not
case.
That's not true.
No.
Right,
Casey-
we corrected
This-
that.
Casey
as well.
corrected that last
Okay.
time.
So we will be 100%
Yeah.
basically
So I make a
covered.
motion that we move ahead, which we did at the last meeting, but make an official motion, we talked about it last meeting. Move ahead with this project and, with the support of the fund balance if needed, but
If the grant doesn't come through.
and continue to seek funding. I mean, even if that grant don't come true, we should still try not to spend it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is what it is. I think it's critically important. I think we're already behind by not getting this thing moving. It's-
I mean, I thought we were all on the same page
Yeah,
last
that too.
time.
And I think the other thing that I think is important to note for anybody who may be listening is that we've already spent quite a bit of town money and resources and time to get this project going. We're already invested and we have hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants that we've already asked for extensions beyond what is normally allowed.
We need
And
to-
if we don't get this off the
We don't
ground,
do it.
this
Does that make a
summer-
motion?
That'll go away.
you did make a motion.
Cool.
I can second that.
And Kaylee offers a second. More discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So there we go. Great. Thank you guys for working on this.
Thank you so much.
And let's hope that the grant comes through. Yeah. And, where are we, 4?
Yeah.
Select board to authorize the town manager to sign, to draft a letter of support for the NEK broadband, to support an application for federal BEAD funding. And Paul Fix, are you here to speak to that?
I am here to sign that.
Would you like to do so?
Yes, please. So Opie also asked me to give you an update on where NEK broadband is, and we seem to be ahead of schedule.
Which is exactly where we want to be.
All right.
Yeah.
I won't belabor it.
Yep.
Would you like an update on?
Yeah. Give us the Cliff Notes version.
All right. I believe Amanda should have
I did.
me have the map to put on the screen. Did Opie get the map
Oh, no.
to you to put on the screen?
No.
My printer died, so I don't have the map.
So
Sorry.
talk us through it.
Anyway, yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but, so let's start, first of all, in the town report, you saw that we're up to 665 miles of network built. There are currently 8,200 customers served, or customers reached, potential customers reached on those 665 miles. 1,200 of them have signed up and been connected. So, we have previously been talking about the ARPA projects on West Hill, on Bridgeton Hill, on East Hardwick to Route 16 up and parts of Pumpkin Lane and up to where Comcast starts in East Hardwick. As the fall, or I should have said the last quarter, and
Of 25.
right. So we're still working on this. We're behind on where we'd hoped to be, and we'll get to how we're going to catch up in a minute. But with 7,000 potential customers to hook up, and many of them wanting to be hooked up, our resources to actually hook people up are the problem, which we hadn't expected that. It's beyond.
So is the uptake rate higher than anticipated?
The uptake rate is lower because we don't have the installers to connect it. Right? The rate of people who want to hook up is about where we expected it.
Okay.
So I will talk, and I'd like people at home to know this as well. I have with me, and maybe we can figure out a way to post this on the town website. There's free training for broadband technicians, an apprenticeship program through the North Country Career Center, and by riding with our contractor who does the installation. So there's an April 1st meeting to learn about this. I'm on the wrong side of the page. April 2nd from 6 to 7 p.m. Adult courses, anyway, so maybe I can email this to you and we can figure out a way to get it posted. So that might be an option for people who are looking for career training. It pays really well. And anyway, so we're working on all fronts to close the gap here. Let's see, the other thing to share, I mentioned, you've heard that the Hardwick Electric is going to get hooked up so they can use VoIP any day now. And the other thing was, where's the page? There it is. So what our marketing person says is dates people see on the public map now, we're confident in. We've built in buffers, so if anything, we expect people will be surprised that we're coming to them sooner than what the map says. But as I said, the map for some of these areas said fourth quarter 2024, and now we're saying 2025. So I guess that's just the fact of life with a project like this. I have printouts of all Hardwick addresses that show anybody who has actually signed up, and there's a lot. Well, it shows every address, including those who've already signed up, but I would suggest anybody who would like broadband go to get.nekbroadband.org, put in your address, see what it says, sign up to be notified. There's no commitment to take it if we come your way, but it's the best way to be kept notified, to get our newsletters, to stay informed about what's possible. And through Opie or the town manager's office, if any, or call me or email me directly, paul@nekcb.org, and I can tell you what I have about what's happening to your address. So, with that said, in your packet you have the letter we've drafted. BEAD is Broadband Equity Access and Deployment, I believe. It's a federal program that's sending $229 million to Vermont, or was scheduled to. There's some question about the new FCC chairman, and of that $229 million coming to Vermont, we think over half of that could come to Northeast Kingdom broadband and central Vermont fiber. So this is really critical we get the support of all the towns. And we'll see what happens, because there's a gentleman by the name of Elon Musk who apparently SpaceX may now get thrown into the mix, although many of us believe SpaceX can't reach every address and can't long-term provide the kind of
You mean
connections.
Yeah.
I mean, SpaceX, Starlink, correct. Excuse me. But, you know, a place like the health center, for example, has 40 people who are on the internet all the time. How many Starlink dishes would you need to service that? And it really needs to be broadband. Now, there are farmers who are now using Wi-Fi to corral and track their cows and their sheep and things like that.
I think from a town perspective, we also just have enough municipal examples from tonight. We want to get our West Hill repeater hooked up, we want Hardwick Electric hooked up, I think the library, it's good. And it's hard to go faster than the speed of light, so that's where we want to be.
So there are 5 in the longest paragraph there. There are kind of 5 bullet points. I think all of them apply to Hardwick in one way, shape, or form, but if there are any of them you take issue with, I suppose we could cross them out and redo the letter, but it's there to be signed.
Make a motion that we support the grant application for the broadband equity access and deployment grant.
Second.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Thank you.
carries. Thanks, Paul.
Good work,
Then we
Paul.
have,
This is for Amanda. I think the O was left off of Tim's name at the very end.
Oh, it might have.
that's
I
okay,
noticed.
Tim can correct.
Thanks for
This is our
keeping honest,
signature page.
Just,
Keep it track.
Cut and paste failed.
Great. Paul, thank you for the update. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. And
Yeah,
I am at least as frustrated as any of you might be, because I've been serving on this committee and it keeps.
I'm glad that connectivity may come to the West Hill repeater as soon as the other equipment comes to the West Hill repeater. That'd be great.
It's gonna get there at the same time.
I think it might.
They're 15 years.
Yep. Great. All right, next item 5, select board to review and approve the town's annual financial plan for the state highway aid, which we do
Move
annually.
that we approve the annual financial plan for town highway. Hey, if we're gonna get out of here, we can.
Second.
Roll.
Any discussion on this, just has list of our class 1, class 2, class 3 roads and the amounts that we estimate to,
So the 200 grand that we're gonna talk about in a minute is part of that 160 pavement?
so the grant and aid is different from, yes, it's a different thing.
Oh, because that's how we're expending these funds.
This is
Right,
just the
right.
annual
Yeah.
plan on all our
Yeah, yeah,
roads.
yeah.
And just to say, and honestly, when we trust that the town manager and road foreman prepared this properly, because I don't really know exactly what we spent in KC too, so. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
for better or worse.
Exactly, probably for better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Better than not.
Exactly. So does somebody want to make a motion to?
I did.
You
I
did?
did. I seconded
You
it.
seconded it? Any other discussion?
Keep up.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a thing to sign here for that too, I think. More signatures.
Where our pens are now.
It's for
Is
you.
this document attached publicly to the meeting stuff that I can go see?
Should be. If it isn't, it will be
It's in that
as part of the
packet
minutes.
that you're looking at.
Oh, yeah. Do you have the, yeah,
It's
it's
got
in
a
the
packet.
packet.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like the estimation of how much we think we're gonna spend, broken down by Wood Class Road and then broken down by winter versus not winter. Which should be about right, cause it's kinda what we spend on roads. Alright, so next is item 6, select board to consider approving a grant proposal for a municipal highway grant to help pave Center Road. So this is beyond our regular, what we get for grant aid all the time for our roads. And we have saved, I don't remember how much, but we have, where are we, 300,000-ish in our capital budget for Center Road, but it's not enough. And in talking to Opie today, he said, this is our best guess, really. We don't know until we put paving out to bid this summer what paving actually costs, but
So this would be a grant for next summer or for this season?
I think it's, are you
I'm not involved
involved?
in this one, sorry.
I think it's this season.
This
I think it's this
season.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's this season.
And is that for the whole thing or parts?
so 200,000,
Like
what Opie
26.
told me was that it would, does it say what? Fiscal year
Municipal
26?
highway grant FY '26.
Which it starts in July.
Okay.
So I think that, what Opie told me was that they're hoping, depending on cost of paving, that if we got this, we could pave all of Center Road. Otherwise, we can only pave what we have money for.
Yeah, okay.
Well, all of Center Road that's in Hardwick, of course, which is most of it.
Can a motion to approve a grant proposal for the municipal highway grant to help pave Center Road?
Second.
More discussion? All right, so all in favor, please say aye.
Hi.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you, and with any, that would be great if we could get that, because it'd be really nice to pave as much of Center Road as possible. It's a little bit bumpy.
This is out of line, I don't know who else drives that road, but big pieces of metal roofing are popped off people's trucks or whatever, that the town road crew should probably go pick some of that stuff up.
For the person who dropped it.
Well, they should, but
Yeah.
good luck finding that.
Yeah, right.
Or any local scrappers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
alert to local scrappers.
They're too lazy these days.
I know.
All right, next, we have our added item 7, select board to consider a letter of support for CAE, the Center for Agricultural Economy grant, T-Mobile hometown grant for adding solar to the roof of a food hub. And, Kat, are you here to speak to that?
I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is, but she's having an awful good time.
All right,
I said, I don't know where you are, but you're having an awful good time.
Still can't hear us.
uh-oh. Uh-oh, just, go ahead and tell us what,
Selective here.
go ahead and tell us, what you would like to tell us about, when we have your, letter, or we have a letter, draft letter of support, and we have your, one pager again, super helpful. But go ahead and just tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, so the $50,000 grant that we would apply for solar food hub, the total would be around $430,000. So this is only a little piece of it, but it's non-federal, and so that is feeling more secure right now than a lot of other federal options out there. And yeah, no responsibility on the town's part of anything that you would need to do for deliverable, the reporting or anything. It's just a letter of support saying that you're on board.
Great.
I'll make a motion.
And I don't know, didn't you take my draft of a letter in your packet?
We got it.
Yeah.
that can be changed as much or as little as anybody might like, if it is in any way onerous.
I will make a motion to provide a letter of support for the CAE for a grant proposal to get solar panels.
How about for the town manager to supply
For the
that?
town manager,
Yeah, yeah.
and for the town manager to supply that.
Great.
Perfect.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a general question.
Yep, go ahead.
After the motion, it's not.
Oh,
really-
after a vote?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Kat. Okay, we have a question.
That just be a question for
Oh.
you, Eric,
Okay,
or Kat.
Yep.
I'm just wondering about how, so when we say the city's full cost to complete their portion of the facility has come in around 4 million.
Yeah,
It seems like there's a lot of different people paying a lot of money for this project.
yep.
And so if CAE is the one putting the solar panel on,
Mhm.
then I just don't totally understand like how that works.
Okay, so that's, so the project is, so the project that that the town was involved in getting started and going, and we got a lot of the grant funds to buy the property to build the structure. So we built that, we renovated the barn, we built a new building. But the new building that we built, is just an energy efficient shell. What we delivered to CAE and Jasper Hill is basically open warehouse. They've got a floor, they've got 4 walls of roof, basic lighting and heating. There's really not much else that we provided. So then when CAE went in, they did a huge refrigerator, like basically all that space, nearly all of it's refrigerated with a pretty high efficiency refrigeration system. So they did a big build out inside that cost them a lot of money. So when the nonprofit, the NEKDC, the nonprofit that has run this project, when it worked out leases with the 3 tenants, the CAE asked, could we lease the entire roof to put solar panels up there? And that was incorporated into their lease. And that was, I think, signed in spring of 2023.
So then are those solar panels just being used to like sell credits to energy credits, or are they actually being used on site?
They're gonna be used on site
For CAE.
for CAE to
Okay.
it'll power, it'll power the
So
refrigeration.
basically, it's their assets, the same as, it'd be their assets, the same as their upfitting.
Right,
in the
right.
building, Or their assets.
So-
not ours. Yeah.
Right, so if, well, we want them there for the rest of time, but if for some reason they weren't, then those would go with that.
Right,
or
they're
the solar
their
panel or
assets
whatever.
on,
Right,
on the building, yeah.
okay,
Yep.
got it.
So the building, knowing that this was gonna happen, the building was built to, to be able to take the additional
This was part of
load,
the
the wind
plan.
load. It was all planned out that this is probably gonna happen.
Okay, great, thank you for
And it's
explaining.
happening.
And it's happening, yeah, it's great. Awesome.
Didn't take them 15 years either. 10.
10. All right. So thank you, Kat. Appreciate you coming. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move us on. So we do have an executive session that we added, but we're gonna do the other stuff first, just to cut everybody else loose. So any select board reports?
We got 7 and 8 before we got 7 here, right?
We did
I
that.
already did
That
so.
was
Oh, that was
that
number
the
No
7.
longer have executive session.
Okay, so, yeah, old business.
New, select board reports, new business, old business. I thought of a report and then I lost it.
My only new / old business is, we all voted in support of the pedestrian bridge, but I think it'd be really helpful at the next meeting to get an update on our fund balance.
With
Because-
obligated funds.
With obligated funds, because we've also had to purchase the repeater, and so I think it'd be
Keep an eye on it.
beneficial to know what that is.
So Casey will give us a quarterly update after the end of the
Yeah.
quarter will be the end of this month. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna suggest that we do it
Yeah,
in conjunction with that.
great.
Yep.
She doesn't always give the fund
She-
balance, so it'd be great to see that.
Okay. I'm sure Amanda will take a note.
Old business, is that where we're at?
Yeah.
I have an old business. The town has been using the TextMyGov platform. We used it this past Sunday to notify residents about high water and potential flooding. It worked really well, and the town manager's office has received really good feedback.
Great. I got an email.
I got a text message, 2 of them.
Oh, yeah, text message.
2 of them. One that was like a warning and one that was an all clear.
Well, I should sign for text.
I felt that was great.
All right, I'm only on email. All right.
3 things. Public Works Director that we are scheduled to hire in 2 months. I asked Opie to get the current draft we have of that position to us for this meeting, so we can start working on that.
Mm.
That's less than 60 days, we can hire one, and we don't even have a job description that's ready to go, so we need to get on that. I mentioned that to Opie.
I mentioned it to him also this morning.
Yeah,
I was
so-
hoping he was gonna have a written report today, but he didn't. And that.
Have we got our $200,000 back from the Yellow Barn?
Not yet.
Good.
Working on it.
Okay, and ethics training. Has everyone taken their ethics training?
Oh, I have not.
So you need to, because next meeting, we need to have an agenda item to discuss that.
Okay.
And I'd like everyone to
Have
take
done it.
it before we have the discussion.
I
Okay.
did it a long time.
I know you did it when it first was.
Just get it done.
Yeah, I know.
You used to do it during the foil.
Yeah.
So I did it because every single time I see Opie, he told me I had to do it, and clearly there was a reason for that, so.
Okay. All right, gotta do it.
Yeah, Eric.
I know. I know.
I know, we just got.
I haven't done it either.
It's one of those.
You haven't either?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I
To be honest with you, it's another silly-
Wait, we're only 2 for 5?
Yeah, not really good.
Okay.
I just
Especially
find
with
it
me.
information to it.
Especially when it's me and Sherry.
Pushing on.
So I have a
That's me.
little,
Go ahead.
just announcement. Spring Fest planning has begun in earnest. If anybody wants to know information about Spring Fest, what's happening, what they could do, where they could help out,
Can we add these to
visit
it?
the hardwickdowntown.org website and click the Spring Fest button, and you will see lots of information about everything.
And Danny said, can we add things to
Are
it?
you back? I've been back.
There's a way that you can
Oh, I don't-
contact the planning
Who's the plan?
group. So the Kiwanis is still doing the parade. Hardwick Downtown Partnership is coordinating the festival,
Is that
and
gonna
the
be
Friday
evening?
night is
Right.
gonna
I
be,
think a truck pull, the human truck
Oh,
pull.
pulling the
talk
truck.
to the, yeah,
Are they doing that?
send us an email.
I will.
Put in your boat.
Yeah, I'd like to do it.
Yeah,
Are you gonna pull?
No, I got a truck.
yeah. Yeah, so go, shoot an email and I'll mention it to others.
I think the truck pull is a fun thing,
I happen
actually.
to have a parade truck specifically. Right, that's how we use it.
That's excellent, yeah.
What about the fire
That's
truck?
it.
You're pulling that thing right there right now.
Yeah.
We need a lot of men.
The whole town to pull it
We need a lot of monkeys to pull that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I like it, it's a nice fire truck.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. Any other select board reports, new business, old business?
I was some puzzled today, driving up and down around town doing my errands, why we have a police cruiser sitting at the school with the blue lights flashing
Oh,
all day long.
somebody else asked me that.
And I'm like,
I said I did not know.
Then I see the horse shit in the road, and I did a little
Then you figured it out.
CSI it.
Yes,
And I
what'd you
figured-
come up with?
I come out, well, there's a horse shit in the road, it must be a horse.
It was
Sleigh rides or
Kingdom
something.
Yeah, they're
Kingdom
doing,
Ride or something.
Rides today.
So
Just
the
for the
kids
school?
were
For
getting
kids.
pulled around in
What a beautiful day.
by horses.
What a beautiful March day.
Who did that?
happened, you know what I mean? Think about it.
Stephanie Paquette ended it up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I saw the horse, I'm like.
So kids from the
"Ah."
elementary school?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just went up
They
to
used to
the
church.
terrace.
Yeah.
Circle there.
Oh, wow.
And,
So I got to wait while they crossed and.
Did you get to ride?
Did you get to ride?
No, I just got to wait and
Yeah.
watch
It looked like
from
they
my
were
car.
having- The
that
road I
was
saw
trying
looked
to
like they were
drive
having
down
a
the
great
road.
time. It was a gorgeous day for it.
Yeah.
Because like tomorrow won't be anywhere as near as nice.
Well,
as
it was
the
supposed to
horse.
be a 2-day event, but they were able, since it was so nice today, they didn't break down today.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Because it's gonna be not good tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I drove by a couple of times and puzzled, you know, trying to think, what? And then I see the officer there and she
Yeah, you
didn't.
didn't get to see the wagon though. With
She
the
didn't
horses
look,
and everything.
there was outside the church.
Yeah.
And, you know, she didn't look concerned or anything, and I'm like, no, then I came back and it's like still there. I gotta find it. You know me.
Mystery.
I can't-
Mystery.
I can't, I gotta find
You
it.
weren't gonna rest.
So-
All right, Tracy?
Glad I did it.
Is it out of order if I say something about, it's a town business thing? Is it okay?
It's all
I should have probably
business.
said it at the beginning.
It's all
Go ahead.
business.
I just wanted to say that the Better Connections project, which has been this planning process for East Hardwick Village, is wrapping up this month. Gonna be done at the end of the month. We had our last village gathering here to sort of get a preview of the plan last week. Anyway, you guys are all gonna get to hear about it at the next select board meeting. There's gonna be a presentation specially for you by our consultant. So I just want to give you a heads up about that. But it's been a very interesting experience and I think fruitful. I think we.
Cool. I thought it made East Hardwick a sovereign nation.
But they make themselves a sovereign nation.
Yeah, they're trying to Canada.
Yeah. All right, great, that's
Next
it.
time.
Okay,
April
all right.
3rd.
Yeah, great. That'll be good. All right, anything else? Could I have a motion to go into executive session for contracts
Second.
pursuant to VSA 313 something? So we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait, to include somebody? No?
It's just us.
Just us?
Just us. I know what the topic is.
Okay.
Oh, great.
All right. Thank you, everyone.